All right, welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host here, Eric Rodriguez, with all your cool wrestling storylines, all your action inside and outside of the ring, covered here on this beautiful GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to remind you guys, we did go through a lot. If you want to check that out again, on our YouTube page, on our Sports Network, we do upload, different segments and stuff like that. So remember, you catch up on the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. We talked about our WWE SmackDown review, our WWE Clash at the Castle review as well. So now let's jump right on into our Monday Night Raw preview. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So, guys, tonight on Monday Night Raw, it's going to be at the American Bank Center, Corpus Christi. Sorry about that, Texas. Um, so a couple of storylines that are pretty huge on Raw. Obviously, there's a lot of Clash at the Castle kind of implications. I feel like this is going to be big. I feel like this Monday Night Raw, there has to be a lot of fine lines. I don't want any blurred lines anymore. Obviously, you've had, the Drew McIntyre and the CM Punk thing like happen over and over again. Karrion Kross constantly trying to tease Xavier Woods to break up the New Day. And, that's, I like a heel change, but I don't know why I don't really see the New Day kind of doing it. But that could be my fandom as well. Also, like Uncle Howdy's, like there's just so many things that, especially heading toward Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is one of the biggest pay-per-views in WWE. Obviously, like having the kind of the best qualifiers to fight in that ladder match, it's going to be crucial. It's going to be crucial. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. I mentioned Karrion Kross trying to tempt over and over again Xavier Woods. Last week, the New Day cost the AOP the World Tag Team Championships. So I don't really know how much they're going to try to tempt Xavier Woods. I feel like, because you have AOP, you have Karrion Kross. If Xavier Woods, if they kind of find a character development where he's like, where he shows the kind of dark side. I don't know. I don't know if that would work. Like, I like King Woods. He's great with the New Day. Something that's like, I feel like it's like one of those situations where if it's not broken, don't fix it. Because if, like, I don't know, it'd be so crazy. That's why I don't see anything of it, especially after. And see, this once again kind of talks about credibility in terms of WWE and their storylines. If AOP did go to NXT to win the World NXT Tag Team Championships, or if Final Testament actually did something under Karrion Kross, but right now they've just been floating around, kind of like where you have Legado del Fantasma. Like, and I don't know if I'm comparing apples to oranges here, but these guys like they're never given opportunities to kind of be like, oh, this is some badass group. These bad guys can do crazy things. They're winning matches. They're not. They're cutting good promos. They're not. They're getting title opportunities and winning them. They're not. So this is like one of those things where I don't believe in Karrion Kross. Thus makes me to believe that you can't do with Xavier Woods. That's just my opinion, of course. I feel like, as a wrestling fan, obviously I think outside of the box a lot, and, I'm not I'm the biggest wrestling fandom you'll probably ever meet. Love talking about wrestling, but I think outside of the box, I'm like, dude, I just don't. There's no success. There's no success for with the Final Testament, and if they become prominent on Monday Night Raw, let's just say they do get Xavier Woods to leave. Kofi Kingston, if Kofi Kingston's been quote unquote injured, which they can also use to their advantage to be like, hey, Kofi's out. If you need backup, we can help you out. And if he kind of finds a way to kind of dip on it, kind of, tap your foot in the pool, be like, do it like this? I'm not too sure. Like, I think that the Final Testament should have had a little more credibility before you decided to go out there and pursue Xavier Woods. But that's just me. That's just me. If Xavier Woods joins the Final Testament, I don't know. Maybe he can go after the Intercontinental. Sami Zayn's gonna need another competitor. He's gonna need someone to kind of compete with them. I kind of banked on Jey Uso, or maybe Finn Balor to kind of be the next one in line. But I don't know. It should be, kind of crazy to find out what goes on after that. We have Dragon Lee and Carlito competing in what is it, the Money in the Bank ladder match. Honestly, I don't like this for both of these competitors. I feel like you can get someone better than Dragon Lee and Carlito. Not that I'm trying to hate on these guys. If Dragon Lee, you put him in the ladder, he's a luchador. This guy's gonna do some crazy things. But if either one of these guys, you just win this match, obviously one of them's gonna win the match. They're gonna lose. You know that these guys are gonna lose. Why would we put someone? Can you see Dragon Lee holding a Money in the Bank match or Money in the Bank briefcase? Can you see Carlito for the betterment of the company? No, you can't. And this is something on unpredictability that I feel like Triple H has done really, really well. I honestly, but this is my opinion, I don't like these two fighting for a spot within the ladder match spectrum for Money in the Bank. I feel like these guys serve no purpose. And I'm not trying to sound mean. I'm not trying to sound mean. They don't really serve any purpose right now in terms of storylines with Damian Priest or Cody Rhodes. I don't understand why these two guys are. No, my only hope, and once again, I have not watched Monday Night Raw. I know it aired already on the East Coast. I swear to God, I haven't looked at TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I feel like this only works if Drew McIntyre comes out, beats the crap out of Carlito, and fights Dragon Lee, and I'm going to take your spot in this qualifying match so I can win this briefcase that's been screwing me over ever since like that. It's like, I feel like that's the only way they can kind of restore. I honestly do not like this match. I hope something kind of switches here. But, like I said, no disrespect. Not trying to throw shade at any of these superstars, but I feel like in this contemporary, WWE kind of storyline, and if you want to make it a little more intense, like I'm pretty sure Paul Levesque wants to, you can have someone like Dragon Lee or Carlito fighting in the Money in the Bank match. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. All right, next we have Jey Uso is determined to secure a spot in the Money in the Bank, and this makes sense. This makes sense. Obviously, I have three guys from WWE Monday Night Raw that should be in the Money in the Bank. Jey Uso, one. Drew McIntyre, another one. Imagine Drew McIntyre, the person that has recently exclaimed on live media that he hates this briefcase because it has screwed him over. Imagine if he had the briefcase. He'd be like, oh, now I can kind of use it for my own beneficial, needs or whatever. It would be more electric. It would be so unpredictable. People would pay attention to Drew McIntyre. People would care about his character. People would just they would go crazy because, of course, you also had this CM Punk and Drew McIntyre kind of, conflict going on. And it'd be like, okay, even if he loses to CM Punk, which CM Punk is old, he's really old. I don't think I'm not trying to sound mean today. I don't know why. I just seem like I'm just, spewing out a whole bunch of things you guys don't like. But I don't see another title run within CM Punk. I'm sorry. I like CM Punk. I love that he made his way back to the WWE. I I would love to see CM Punk, but then again, he got injured. If CM Punk would have never gotten injured and won the Royal Rumble and won the championship against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, I feel like I would be singing a whole different tone. But that's all about, obviously, what has happened in terms of that. But right now, if you force Punk on the WWE Universe, I think it'll work because people love CM Punk. I do love CM Punk. But it just seems so inauthentic. And I know like I might have lost you guys. I feel like Drew McIntyre would be amazing. And thirdly, Finn Balor. Finn Balor wins at Money in the Bank, cashes in that same night to defeat Damian Priest or at SummerSlam because who's gonna fight Damian Priest? We don't have anybody yet. We don't have, the obviously I thought that there was going to be a rematch between Gunther and Randy Orton for the WWE Men's King of the Ring, but that did not happen. I don't know why. I think Randy's kind of working on injuries, but if Gunther wins, he's going to fight Damian Priest. If Randy Orton wins, he's going to fight Cody Rhodes. I'd rather see Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton fight at SummerSlam. I'm sorry, but that's just me because I feel like Damian Priest versus Gunther. if Damian Priest wins, he's gonna win by, someone interfering or whatever. If or if Gunther beats Damian Priest, and if you have Finn Balor cash in the championship, and then there would be like kind of like a, not like a, so to speak, kind of like a Judgment Day Civil War, where you have kind of Finn Balor holding the strap instead of Damian Priest, and Damian Priest is kind of forced to follow what Finn Balor wants to do, and then that causes them to ultimately kind of butt heads and kind of rival against each other. I feel like maybe that'll work. But there's just so many open opportunities. I don't think Dragon Lee or Carlito kind of fit anywhere inside of this. So, yeah. But like I said before, all these are my opinion, obviously objective. So next we have Braun Breaker. Where is Braun Breaker going to go? What is he going to do? His last couple of matches, his last promos have been garbage, in my opinion. I feel like they should have done a lot better. Now you had him beat Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov, I feel like, had a way bigger kind of, had a way bigger potential push than Braun Breaker. You had Braun Breaker break him and defeat him on Monday Night Raw last week. And no, it's just crazy. In terms of WWE, I feel like they're kind of failing Braun Breaker in terms of this, because I feel like he can ultimately be part of like a, kind of like a great storyline, be part of a great maybe like a great faction or whatever. I'm not sure if he's going to be the next one to join Karrion Kross, and then they all, but then that doesn't make any sense. See, that's why WWE fans are, very skeptical. They'll see something to be like, really? Really? Like, that doesn't make any sense. We don't want to see that. So, obviously it should be interesting. Drew McIntyre declares himself in the Money in the Bank position. I think that's yes. I heard that, in an article. I feel like that's kind of his best bet. Drew McIntyre should probably ultimately be WWE World Heavyweight Champion in terms of like, kind of like I have, first and foremost, I had Seth Rollins. Then you have CM Punk. Then you have Drew McIntyre, and then you kind of have Damian Priest. Maybe that's why, like, maybe I have kind of have the mad on for Damian Priest so much, and like I'm a huge Damian Priest fan, but I know, like, kind of like his they were trying to turn him into like a babyface, which he cannot be unless he is kind of screwed over by the Judgment Day. But I don't know. I just feel like WWE can do a way better job with some of this creative ideas flowing toward the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And then CM Punk, is CM Punk going to be seen tonight? This guy made an appearance in Scotland. I feel like he kind of deserves it to the WWE Universe to, most importantly, kind of be involved within the storylines. But like I said before, I'm not too sure. Wrapping this up, will Chad Gable disown the Alpha Academy? Like what I kind of talked about in our last segment, I feel like he's going to, and he's going to build something with the Creed brothers. I feel like that would be the best bet for Chad Gable. And lastly, is it time for Uncle Howdy? Uncle Howdy and his QR code last week on SmackDown and Monday Night Raw said that June 17th is the time for the downtrodden six to ultimately make their debut. And we've been waiting so damn long. Who they're going to target, I'm not sure if they're going to target anybody, or absolutely nobody. Who knows? Can't wait to get into this. Can't wait to see what happens on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy Monday Night Raw. Hope you guys, we're shocked because I'm ready to be shocked tonight. So yeah, well, guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump right on into our wrestling power rankings for the men's and women's for this week. So hey, do not go anywhere.